Now we are talking about how to cultivate Kaizen mind in employees. So, to do so, before that, we have to understand what kind of characteristics employees should have. After that, it becomes to be more simple to find the best solution. So, to make it more simple, just imagine a company, a factory. Just imagine factory workers. After that, of course, this sense we can apply to other employees. Just imagine a factory. There is a production line, and so 20 employees are working now, and you are in charge of education to them. You have to bring Kaizen mind into these employees. Okay? So, to do so, what kind of characteristics these employees should have in a factory? So, for example, what kind of characteristics should be?
I think we should be quite smart and a little bit lazy, because if you want to prove yourself, if you want to prove yourself, you have to find a solution how to work less and better. If you're very hardworking and it doesn't bother you to work 24 hours a day, you will never find a shortcut. But if you're a little bit lazy and smart, you put your efforts to find a better way how to work, to be efficient, more efficient.
It's very, very interesting.
Serbian kind.
Serbian kind.
Serbian way. Actually, it's an example from one of my professors from college. He always pick up not the greatest students for the upper, but the ones which have the lower average grade. And when one of his colleagues asking why don't they do this, why don't we do the best one? But because the best one, if you give him something to work, the one which is best, you will do it. You kill yourself by working it and do it like by the book. But I don't want that. I want to find a better way. I want to find a shortcut and do the one which is a little bit lazy, but also smart. You will find a better way to how to do it.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, please continue this question.
Please give me which characteristic you think also.
Let's do it again as we did earlier. Think about keywords. Just one word. What would you like, what characteristics you expect from your employee? How would you like them to behave? What would you like, how can...
Just
okay,
one.
proactive.
Just one word.
Just one. Proactive. I'm sorry?
Curiosity.
Curious.
Dedicated.
Dedicated. What else?
Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur.
Okay. Any others?
Open-minded.
Open-minded.
Responsible.
Responsible. How often do we find that in
Serbia?
In Serbia.
We don't find.
Okay.
10%.
10%. What else? What is connected with responsibility? What do you need to have in professionalism? They have to be
Good
what?
organization. Good organization.
Organized.
Organized.
I'm sorry?
Effective and
Innovative.
efficient.
I'm sorry?
Effective
Effective
and
and efficient. Oh. Oh.
More?
What do
I think
what
different education.
what, I'm sorry?
Different education.
Decent education. Now, what about something that I would call trustworthy? Is that important? How often? I believe that if you would have summed up everything, what is really the most important? That
reliable.
reliable, trustworthy. This is something we all know about that, but how often are we able to find it? When Very rare. Why is that important for you personally? As a manager and as employee, why is that? Why do you need to have your colleague to have these qualities?
To reach your goals.
I'm sorry?
To reach your goals.
Yes, to reach your goals, but maybe more importantly, how do you feel working with somebody who is untrustworthy, who is cheating
You have
on you?
to
who is-
double check everything. You
How
cannot
easy?
double-
Can you enjoy your work?
No.
And if you don't enjoy work, can you perform? Is there any way to really perform well if you feel like going to jail instead of
Like in cage.
instead of working?
That's what you did.
Okay. So, just focus on the factory. In the factory, usually we need two characteristics. Of course, other characteristics also important, but just pick up two characteristics. First one is be able to comply processing steps, measures, regulars, and ethics. Because they want to change something, it causes a critical problem, defect, a lot of problem there. On the other hand, at the same time, they need these characteristics. Be able to creatively develop new measurement ways. So, from one aspect, they say, I do, along with the manuals. But at the same time, they should say, I like to change the manuals or improve the manuals. But as you know, these characteristics are contrary to each other. But both of characteristics we need. So it means somehow we have to take a balance between these sets. In Japanese case, in Japan, there are a lot of programs in this balance. If managers make a mistake to take a balance between them, usually this factory have a lot of problems. And most of the problems are caused by this imbalance. So, how we can take a balance between them? So, how to take a balance between these two characteristics which are contrary to each other? First characteristic is, I want to keep to it. Be able to comply processing steps, measures, regulars, and ethics. On the other hand, be able to creatively develop new measures and ways. How we can take a balance? But I also have an experience to work at a factory in, Hitachi Corporation. And I worked for that company for 3 months as a part-time worker. Every day, I have to put a small liquid onto the microprocessor. I can see it by my eyes. I have to use a scope. The size is 40 ohm strong, very, very small. And put the liquid onto this processor, 40,000 per day. And then continuously I put the liquid 3 months.
Second, minutes per minute.
And through these activities, gradually, I must do something different. So, boring.
Oh,
I want to change the process, but it's not allowed to me. But other workers, I guess, all of them have the same feeling. They want to change this process. But if we change this process by our judge, it will cause problems. But on the other hand, to improve this process production, we have to change the process, the way of making a product, so that Hitachi managers have to take a balance of us. And when I visited the factory and when I found a lot of problems in that workplaces, usually I focus on this balance. How owner, managers take these balances. But in Serbia, last year I found there's an imbalance. Some owner strictly force them to keep to the rules. But on the other hand, just owner asks the employees to change. But there is an order. So, how Japanese people take balance? I will explain the several cases. But just now, I want to tell you the two concepts. There's a lot of measures, but somehow owners have employees keen on company's rules. Somehow. And at the same time, set a place to discuss and decide new measures and methods among employees. In this way, Japanese people take this balance among employees. But we Japanese people do this activity from long time ago. No Japanese people learn from university or management textbooks. From the first, we can take a balance between them. Because we have some specific interesting cultures about this. So today I want to introduce this culture. So cultivate Kaizen mind among employees. So I have a question.
Can you tell me what is the best possible way your employees to keep up to their promises?
How can you make them responsible?
Responsible.
Yes.
First of all, you should be responsible and make authority of yourself.
As a
Behave in the
manager,
same way.
as a director, first
Yes.
we should need to show with our example.
Yes.
Okay.
Good conditions of work.
Raise your salary.
Rewarding
Rewarding.
and support.
Sometimes when they have a new idea.
Balance is balance.
We try to create and there are some kind of homepagers spirit. We are homepagers and we can do that.
We are proud with it.
And we are proud and well, for example, we are going to conference in Znanja and we will stamp t-shirts for our there are Twitter nicknames for our runners because running is very a lot of people from agency are runners, and we stamp that t-shirts and they will call people that conference to the morning run with homepages around the web. Things like that. We have homepage spirit.
So your promise is that build up your culture and
Yes.
your